Alright, I know it's windy. Got a cornfield to do here. There's an old foundation down this way. And we were here last year, but they've spread things around a little bit. We're hoping to find something old. Alright, if the wind's calm, I'll talk. If not, I'll not talk. By the way, we're using the AT Pro with the 5x8. It is heavy gravy of iron, nails and stuff. Got an old hook, or part of it anyway. I checked out some of those signals that we just passed through, and here's a square nail, which can ring very good sometimes. I like them when they're in good shape. I'll even save that one there. Alright, we're getting a high tone, and no, it's not a coin. It's coin size. Got some nice back marks on it. It just got shankage. It's a button with a bent shankage, that is. Alright, and for our next find, I was getting a mid-tone with the AT Pro, and the nails are still pretty heavy. I was able to pick out this symbol. Awesome is that. Let's focus. Roll in a second. There we go. It's not silver. It rings about 65 on the AT Pro. I can tell it's not silver by looking at it, but glad to have it. Alright, down there pretty good, about 6-7 inches, even though I got the AT Pro dialed back for the nails. Sorry about this string. And we got a beautiful little brass buckle. The tongue is detached, but we have it. It's all together. Okay, we got another little mid conductor, and this thing's a little dainty little thing. I know it looks like a buckle, but it's too dainty and flimsy for that. It's not a buckle. I think it's part of a brooch, maybe. It's a fancy around the edge here. Okay, that's a pretty good find. There's some friends coming by. Circling, they want to land. There's a bunch up there. Alright, there's quite a bit of traffic here. Welcome to night 2 in the cornfield. Not quite as windy today. We'll do some more footage as long as we can find some stuff. And our first decent find, and we've been out here a little while before we found this. We got a little tomback button reading 47 on the AT Pro. And then we got a full shank on that one. Awesome. Okay, on to the next. $79, $80, $77. Coins usually ring a little higher. We're going to set up, do this live. Alright, we know what live means. Not going to be anything any good, right? It certainly sounds pretty good. Said I don't trust that 80 though. Usually the coins ring a little higher. Alright, we're out of the hole with whatever we have. Look at that. Live dig grommet. Alright. On to the next. Time to introduce you to what I mean when I say heavy gravy. Turn the sensitivity down a little bit. And try to pick something out of this. $50.48. Alright, we're going to dig that even though it's probably sheet metal. Alright, the signal turned out to be a small piece of lead, but you get the idea how you pick them out of all the nail sounds. Sorry about the shake, but can't help that. Okay, on to the next. Alright, what we've dug now is a mystery item. Not quite sure what to make of it. Looks something like a lantern or thimble or something, but I don't believe it's either one. Let me get it turned around here without dropping it, so you get a better look at it and get you out in the sun. Alright, if anybody knows what that is, let me know. Tell by the sun, it's been a while since my last find that I videoed, but this is a first for me right here. This is a button ball, complete with shank, a two-piece. You know, it's not that old. It's got some fancy on it, and it's the first one I've ever found. Awesome. Alright, back out the cornfield again. Same cornfield, this time we got the Vista Gold with the little tiny, well, it's similar to the 5x8 for the AT Pro. And our settings are, sensitivity is about 42, disc is up on about the second notch, the second big notch. Okay, and our first find, down there pretty good, about 6 inches, and don't have the boost on, so I'm trying to discriminate better in amongst the nails. And we got a door hinge, which I don't mind digging. Okay, we'll see you at the next find. Alright, I've dug a target up here, and I just want to show you the difference. You know, all the buzzing that you get when you're in heavy iron with the AT Pro, how the Vista Gold sounds. I'll turn up the iron audio. And I got a good signal up here, and I've already dug it. And it looks like it was a button, and it was hidden in there pretty good. But I like the way the audio works on the Vista very well on the iron. Hear every single nail, and then you hear something different. The AT Pro, you get that buzz, which can be difficult when you're in heavy iron. I think that's a button. It's got some type of writing on the back, I believe. It looks like a washer, but maybe not. I don't know. Alright, on to the next. I knew this was going to happen. I was going to find stuff out here. Don't be afraid of the old analog machines. It's a little two-piece button. I'm trying to envision a pattern on there. Maybe there isn't one. Maybe there is. But it's just the top part of it, unless the other part's just smashed in. But it's another button. We're going to continue to sift through the nails and see what we can come up with. Alright, we moved about 3 feet maybe. Come across another button, and this one does have a pattern on it. It's a beauty. I've never gotten the one with that pattern. Of course, we get them all different patterns. Same site. It's a different type of button. Boy, I'm finding more stuff in the same areas. And check this out. Everyone knows what that is. Nice crotal bell. It's been a long time since I've gotten one of those. That's probably the nicest thing I've dug out of here so far, except for maybe that padlock. Oh, whoops, you didn't see that. You will in the wrap-up. Okay, on to the next find. Alright, we're going to make an attempt to do this live, which is probably a big mistake. Of course, the live dig produces the foil. How awesome is that, huh? Live dig strikes again. Alright, it's mystery item time. What is it? Got a slit on each end. You know, I was thinking like maybe some type of fancy lamp or a lantern or a wick, but I don't see any place for a stem to go in. It's not made out of heavy-duty metal, so it's not a load-bearing piece. Maybe it's just a finial or something like that. Okay, we'll see you at the next one. Believe it or not, that's the first big iron I've dug. Garden hoe, heavy-duty, looks pretty old. Usually with the analog machines you dig a lot of big iron, but not today.